Everybody, welcome to this episode of Think Business. Looking forward to talking to Katie Fortunato. Katie, it's great to connect with you. You are the co-founder and president of Jobstream. Website is getjobstream.com. Okay, so let's talk about this. It's a new AI native technology disrupting the affiliate marketing industry. It's a new category of monetizable content. Okay. What does that mean for the person listening?
Well, thanks for having me. So we're all about creator monetization. So where a lot of influencers and creators make money pushing products to their audiences and followings, we are for the career creator. And the career creator is somebody who has a more professional minded approach to their content. They might be talking about work, like getting ready for the day with me or a day in the life as a nurse. And we are for the creators who want to help support their followers in their own job search. And I guess it's disruptive because it's creator-led hiring, which really doesn't exist until today. And what is happening is creators are already talking about careers and jobs, or they might be sending links to their friends, referring people in their audience. And now they can make money if they're working with our network at Jobstream.
All right. So how? So walk someone through. So somebody's listening to this who's maybe in their 20s is understanding it differently in their 40s or 50s or 60s. Although you see a lot of, creator content from people of all ages, right? So I'm generalizing a little bit, but like, what exactly does that mean? Does it mean that, you're helping them with links of products that they're talking about, so it's easier for the consumer who's watching to purchase it, and then they make money based on, a percentage? Like explain it to the Think community like they are in kindergarten to second grade.
Yeah. So, well, it doesn't matter if you're 23 or if in your second or even third act of your career, right? Because it honestly, like, the bigger the network you have, the more money you'll make. And without sounding like crass about it, but it's like a way to monetize and own your network. And what we mean by that is you send your audience a job posting from our network, from our employer network, and your audience clicks, they apply to the job, they like it, they're fit for it, and you get paid. And the talent market
is the future of recruiting.
I'd call it, well, I don't want to call it recruiting, because recruiting is someone who goes out and they're hunting and they're fishing and they're looking for the talent. What we're talking about is passive job distribution. And what we're also doing is democratizing the access to real jobs. And I think like what's not working, that if you've been a job seeker lately, which John, I don't think you have, but if someone who is listening has, they go to job boards, they go to their friends and family, they go to Google. And what's happening given AI is there is about 30% of what you see online is fraud or not real or an impersonator. So, what we're doing at Jobstream is working with employers. We're vetting the employers. We are verifying that they are actively hiring, that they actually need to hire candidates for this job. And how do we know that? We know that because they are actively invested in marketing and maybe paying recruiters even, but they're trying to reach the right talent.
So let's use me as an example, right? So let's say, right, so we'll just kind of like real life kind of build this out. So I'm a business coach. I work with, solopreneurs to Fortune 100 companies and executives and owners and managers and salespeople. And so is it, so if I'm talking about, like, this is my go-to pen. I don't have an affiliate program for this, but this is my go-to pen, the one that we used in like second grade. I buy them in bulk, so an affiliate program would be, if I have a link to this in the show notes and you can buy these pens through my Amazon business account, right? I think that's, or, something. And yep. So what you're suggesting is that also if there were careers that you post that are vetted, I also start to talk about, hey, if you're burnt out and you want to get into marketing, go to my show notes and click on that link, and there's some great opportunities from Jobstream.
You would share it specifically with so we actually work with a lot of career coaches. I think what
Yeah.
we've been most surprised by is that this is it's a new opportunity for career coaches and a lot of ex-HR people. Because what's happening is layoffs, right? Like bolt layoffs left and right. No company is hiring talent acquisition right now. And these are people who've amassed in their career thousands, in some cases hundreds of thousands of talent. They've already built a reputation. Like, I am known to help people find jobs. They have been quite lucrative really quickly.
Yeah.
And the way it works is
So how would it work for me?
Yeah,
so
for
just so
you,
we can
John.
so the Think community can like listen in real time. How
Yeah.
So let's
So,
pretend
John,
right. Let's pretend I called you. This is kind of a fun exercise, right? So like we just met, and just to kind of set the foundation, like
Yep.
good or bad. I never know who I'm interviewing until like 5 minutes before, and I like it that way, right? So I have kind of a system where people sign up, and then my team does everything in the background. And then about 5 minutes before, I look up the jot form and I say, "Oh, this looks pretty interesting." I do it that way because I want the conversation to be very real and not kind of like, sound static.
Yeah. And if you have
And
questions,
so I didn't know what you really did, but now that I know what you do, this is pretty interesting. So let's pretend, for the sake of discussion, I call you and I say, "Hey, Katie, this is John Dwoskin. I'm a business coach. I want to make some money with your affiliate program. How do I do that?"
Well, John, go to our website. You're going to sign up and request to join, or you're
So
approved.
go to your website, getjobstream.com.
Getjobstream.com, and click to apply to become a creator. It's free. And you either need to apply in or get an invite. And I'll make sure you have an invite and your community does as well, so you skip the queue. But you're going to set up your profile. You're going to say, "I am this kind of creator." You are a career coach, executive coach. And
I'm a business, sales, and leadership coach. Not really a career coach, but I help people get jobs all the time. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And did you ever get paid to do that?
No.
Now you can.
Now I can. Okay. So how do I do that?
So you're going to log in to create an account. You're going to have access to our employer network, and you're going to have your own commissionable affiliate link. You're going to use that link every time you share a job with your community, and you can share it in newsletter, you can share it on LinkedIn, you can share it on YouTube, Instagram, et cetera, et cetera. Do you have a newsletter, John?
Yeah.
So it actually creates great engagement on the newsletter. And if you're sending out your weekly, this is what's going on in the world of JD, we've got these 5 jobs that I think my network would like. You would curate that list and you'd say, "I want senior marketing, senior sales, business, or companies that your audience would like," and start listing the opportunity. When your readers get it, they click apply, and you earn a commission up to $25. So, how we're different than other affiliate programs is like an Amazon, for example, is giving cents for a conversion. But like I said, we're working with highly motivated employers, and this is how we're able to allocate.
You get a $25 if the person gets the job, or if they just click on the link?
Applies. They just have to apply.
And what if they get the job?
Well, I mean, we'd love to be able to track that. It gets a little tricky with how personal information works. I mean, once somebody
but your business is just like, if somebody applies, you get $25, and that's where it ends.
That's where it ends. We're about connecting, making the connection happen, bringing the access of the opportunity to the right audiences. So that's where like our vetting comes in.
Yeah.
And like career coaches who have started, we have a new one, Vicki Johnson, and she's making hundreds of dollars in her first week. It's crazy. Like, because she has a network, she knows her audience, and she knows the kind of jobs they were looking for. She was able to match them almost perfectly instantly. And then, for the creator who is overwhelmed with lots of inbound, we have like a newsletter product. Like, you could you have your own newsletter, John, but for someone who's like, I want to like double down on this,
Yeah.
we give them a newsletter, we give them their own job board essentially. It's called Jobtree. And it's a landing spot for jobs that they curate for their network specifically.
So is this the future of recruiting? Your sales force are basically, all of the people like me, in your sense, mostly a lot of career coaches or people out there. And then those, let's just say coaches or whomever, I would imagine do they have to go to your website to see what's new? Do you proactively market to them? What's on your, job opportunities? How does that work?
Yeah, well, lots of different questions in that. But I mean, is this this is creator led hiring. What we know is like the number one way of people getting a job is is referrals, right? And about 70% of jobs don't make it online. And the reason why is because referrals and
Yeah.
because LinkedIn is expensive and Indeed and all the job boards are expensive and they don't get it the quality application they're looking
Yeah.
for. But John, the best talent. And so I'm going to ask John, who does he know to hire? This creates a network effect. And it's not that it's referrals. Like I'll tell you why referral programs don't always work is because it's putting way too much work on the employee or the referrer. It means, okay, I have to
Right.
go through my LinkedIn. I already know thousands of people. How do I filter? How do I find the right person for this job? What we're saying is like, this is very low lift of you're not, recommending somebody to get hired. I mean, that is the goal is like, you want to make sure they're getting matched appropriately, but giving the access to the job your audience might not have seen otherwise.
Yeah.
Um, it happens all the time. Like, and people are always like, everyone's a job seeker. People are always sending me jobs and, I'm
Yeah.
quite happy doing what I'm doing. But when it comes from someone I know and
Yeah.
I trust already, yeah, I look twice at that opportunity.
Yeah. And so how do you grow your network of job opportunities?
So we just keep talking to employers. Right now, we have over 200 employers. We have thousands of jobs. And, what we're starting to do is work with brands directly, and we're working with their like talent acquisition employer brand departments to create like user generated campaigns in the same way you're seeing on Instagram for your favorite pen. You're seeing employers start to do this now, and it's people talking about what it's like to come to work there.
Yeah.
And that's something we do as more of an agency service. But um, the affiliate, we for a creator's business of like how you make money, the affiliate is the long game and can be much more lucrative than a short-term brand deal.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've found that, John, but like kind of like a steady stream of income is you might not be making the highest yield in the minute, but over time it compounds.
Yeah. Yeah. Your business model is so fascinating to me. And so, because it's empowering people to help other people. And then I think most people do that instinctively, but then they get paid a little bit. And so just a question, how do you avoid someone from saying to someone, oh, just, hey, 4 friends, fill this out so I get $100? How do you avoid that in this model?
Well, we kicked them off the platform.
Mm-hmm. I remember when I worked I don't have proof of this, but I waited tables in college. I worked at Ruby Tuesday. And every time my mom and dad came in, I'd get over the next of like the couple weeks, like you got $25 if somebody called in and complimented you. And I would get all of these things. My mom never told me she did it, but I'm almost positive it was her. And so, I remember thinking like, we'd have these like in the kitchen meetings and be like, John Watson got another, call in. And I thought that is for sure my mom. Yeah. So, because it was like, so how do you avoid that?
Yeah, I mean,
How do you recognize that?
We recognize that because what we're doing up front is vetting. We're doing things like and making like bots are a huge issue right now,
Right.
and
I
that's
would think that
also
was gonna be my
why.
next question. I would think bots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and the cybersecurity fraud is insane. So we're doing, like two-step authentications. Like you have to prove that you're a human, but also like if you have applied to a job recently, you know how much time this takes. And I'm not talking about like apply everything on LinkedIn. I'm talking about going through some of these applicant tracking system career pages.
Yeah.
It is a 15-minute process and in some cases longer. The more technical you are or more clinical or the longer the process. So, you have to really be up for committing that time. And who commits that time is someone who's really motivated to find the opportunity.
Yeah.
And, like what we're doing is it doesn't work without trust. So if there are creators who are bad actors, they know what they're signing up for. They have a operating agreement that these are our terms and conditions and here's kind of our manifesto and what you have to buy into and believe in it. And that's why we don't accept everybody.
Yeah.
But John, if you had friends who are executive coaches and would value this, like I'd say, John, please invite your friends in. And there's already a vetting that's been done. And for them to believe you, you have to be profitable and you have to be making money. So, we're hoping by rewarding the application, which is the conversion point, that we get away from the bad actors. And to date, it hasn't been a problem.
So you started this business about a year or so ago, May 2025.
We started piloting it, like incubating an idea that was all about AI matching. So
Yeah.
matching people to opportunities in real time. Sounds easy, it's not because of the way like jobs are coded by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And it's not as cut and dry as it may seem, like how AI is making everything seem simple. So we built this AI engine, tech
Yeah.
product. We started out with an enterprise offering, which was like, if you are an employer and you get 100 people who apply to a job, you hire one, you reject 99.
Yeah.
What happens to the 99 people? They go into a black void of a database. But with Jobstream, we regret to inform you, we're not moving forward with your application. We're referring 3 jobs that look just like the one you applied to, and we wish you the best in your career search. Hope this helps you.
Yeah.
What they're doing is a game changer for their brand. It's a negative experience turned into a lifelong relationship building engagement because now the employer, they've already had that contact in their database. They know if they're job searching. And then when the next time the opportunity comes around and they're the right fit, they've got that market signal that talent who they recruited 2 years ago is still actively applying to jobs, and I'm going to reach out to them and they're going to take the job I'm going to offer them.
So how's it go? What are you learning about a year or so in? What are you learning about the business? How is it evolving with different AI tools that are coming out? It seems to me that over the last 3-4 months specifically, this is airing April 2026, but over the last 3-4 months, AI has just gone to a new level, and so for a business owner that has kind of started in the world of AI, how is the business accelerating for you? At what pace? I was talking to my wife about this the other day. I started an internet company with my brother and a buddy of ours in June of 1995. And we sold it in September of 1997. At the time, it was the largest internet professional service firm in the world. I'm not saying that to impress, just to impress upon that, like, in that 2+ years, things were going so fast, but we had the time to at least build it. Today, it feels like what you could do in a year, you have like 2 or 3 months before the technology is changing again very rapidly, before you have to really, like evolve it to the granular piece of what the AI will not only do, create for you to allow you to go even faster. So what is it like for you in your business, having just started having an AI component, and then, how quickly are things changing?
Things are changing so fast. And this is not a popular opinion, but vibe coding has made it so easy for everybody to be an innovator, a builder, an entrepreneur. My belief is if you do not have the distribution, the audience, the trust, then your product will not be successful. There's
Correct.
no
By the
way.
way, I'll add on to that. Most people don't have follow up, consistency, drive, and want a balanced life to work 30 to 40 hours a week. And if you're like, that's competing at average, right? So you have to really work really really hard. You have to have the work ethic to grow the business. And as an entrepreneur, you're not working 30 hours, 40 hours a week. Typically you're working anywhere between 50 and 60, 70, 80 hours a week.
That's right. And
Yeah.
even with AI agents, they're not replacing the common sense of a human. They're not replacing everything. And you have that human in the loop aspect because if you are, using a bunch of AI agents and they go wrong, like it's still up to you and that's still your brand. So as an entrepreneur, like
Right.
all of these marketing things like set it and forget it and make money in your sleep, it doesn't work.
No,
Although
I was just talking to my brother about that. It's just, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Yeah.
And John, what I'm seeing about the future of jobs and skills is
Yeah.
probably the most crazy thing. But like the way I think about jobs and skills is in your role, if you're not using AI, AI might replace your job, but somebody who is using AI will replace your job. I work with a lot of like next generation who, the greatest unemployed segment in the world right now.
Yeah.
They're asking, why can't I get a job? Where are the jobs? There are jobs. They might not be as desirable. But if you are somebody who's worried about job security, it's the writing is on the wall. There's a talent market index. It tells us it's healthcare, it's AI engineering, it's crypto,
Yeah.
it's everything that requires these two things.
Well, I'll
Dexterity.
add one more thing. Because I talk to a lot of people who are graduating college. I have clients who I work with their children, and I work with, parents who kind of see me as a coach to their kids, and almost like a college course. And
Mhm.
here's what I am seeing. And my kids are 20 and 23, so I'm in that world.
And what are you telling them?
Well, I'll tell you in a second. But what I'm seeing is a lot of people say I can't find a job, and when I ask them what they're doing, they're telling me a majority, not everybody. I sent out, 30, 40, 50 resumes, and I say to them, "Have you called anyone?" And I would say 98% of them say, "Oh, should I?" They're not picking up the phone and calling. They're not showing up with their resume in the lobby. They're not being proactive. They're not, they're sending out emails. Typically, too many people are scared to pick up the phone and just show up with a resume and a pizza of where they want to get a job. I say that is just as far as having the boldness and some chutzpah to really separate and differentiate yourself. And so I hear what you're saying, and I'm in agreement. But I also think, that there's an article in Fortune magazine a couple weeks ago that basically talked about that the Gen Zs are getting laid off months after they're hired now because people are tired of their lack of work ethic, showing up like slobs, and not motivated, and yada yada yada. People can Google the article. So I think there's all of those elements of things.
All those elements.
Yeah.
No one also, if you take a look at in your community, like who are the career advisors to these young kids, the education has to start freshman year of high school. And it's the coaching, the advice that a lot of them are hearing are coming from their parents who might be boomers, millennials, or older. And they know what they know when
Yeah.
it was the way when they did it. And John, you and I came from an era where you showed up in person, you delivered your resume because you knew that someone would not miss it if it was on their desk.
Right.
But to the next generation's credit, like nobody's been giving them the right advice, the tools, the wisdom, the etiquette to say this is how you go about it in the year
Yeah.
of 2026. And so, like, you and me, we have to change that, right? So
I actually have a free, I have another company that is a free service. I have a business partner,
yeah.
and it's launch dash three, the number 3.com. And it's about 250 micro courses that help with everything you just said.
Oh,
Yeah.
sign me up. I mean, I
And
would
it's
love to
free.
share that as
I'll send
support.
you the link, and you can send it to
Yeah.
all your people. It's
Yeah.
absolutely free. And then what we're also building is, which is not free, a life plan, because we believe that the complement to a business plan is a life plan, and nobody has it. They're not thinking about the big picture. They're not thinking about the big picture of their life.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We need to do another session. So I love this. I'm so passionate about this.
Yeah.
But I work with the Big Futures program. We're an official sponsor of the Big Brother Big Sisters,
Nice.
and
Yeah. Oh,
we
give them launch three. They can all sign up for free. It's great.
they need something like that.
Yeah.
And like it's all about, like, for us it was like, I mean, yeah, all next gen people need a job, but for these kids, they don't have models. They don't have people that they look up to and say, "Oh, so and so in my life is going to work
Right.
today." And, you know, giving them that roadmap, it starts with, well, what do I love? What can I get paid to do?
Right.
And what is actually available? What are my skills? What are my strengths? Passion, strengths, and what can I actually get paid for? And that trifecta is like, it's like an ikigai mentality of like, here's how you build the dream life. I love this. So I would love to share that as a
Yeah.
resource.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll email you some information, launch-3.com. All right. Couple things. 60 seconds. How did you get the idea to start this business?
I came from big media and publishing for the Wall Street Journal. They were kind of the last publisher on planet Earth to have an affiliate program and protect the brand. Like, they're a legacy brand. They didn't want to. Some of the companies like selling out a little bit, but no, there's an ethical way to do it. And what that means is, like, the wire cutter version. I started a pilot there at the Wall Street Journal. It's called W Straight Buy Side. I knew the affiliate world and I know the hiring world. Why do I know the hiring world? I'm part of this family business. I'm the second generation who's coming up, and it's all about innovating in this space. And I'm able to bring that builder and mentality and looking at, the stuff that I had built in the commerce industry. Follow the money. Like, look at how influencers have changed how companies advertise. Look at where the cash flow goes through, and it's these platforms. ShopMy,
Yeah.
eBay, so kind of was the blending of two worlds I knew well, but had never lived together.
It's great. All right, quick speed round. That's a great story. A book that's made a big impact on you.
The Outlier.
It's great.
Is that cliche?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Best piece of wisdom you've ever received.
Bet on yourself.
Good. Finish this sentence. One thing that everybody needs to do to get comfortable with an affiliate program is?
Just start posting content.
That's great. I am Jewish, and there is a kind of a Jewish law that talks about the biggest mitzvah, which is an act of kindness. The biggest mitzvah in life, one of the biggest mitzvahs in life, is to get somebody a job. So I've always loved getting people jobs. I think it is something that if I can make an introduction, I think it's always great. And what I love about your company and your platform is you're vetting so other people can help other people have a better life. And I think it's great. And open up opportunities and be exposed to opportunities that they may or not come in contact with. And like you said, 70% aren't even publicized. And I know, the jobs that I have gotten, I know a lot of people in my circles who have gotten jobs, they've been because of who you know, or an introduction, or things of that nature. And I know many, many people that have a lot of jobs that have never even made it on the job boards.
Right.
I think this fills a great gap for people to be to see opportunities that they may not. So congrats on your business. Tell everybody who your ideal clients are and where they can connect with you.
Absolutely. Well, I'm looking for more career creators to join the network. You're a career creator if you're someone who wants to help connect others to job opportunity. And as far as on the employer side, we're looking to meet with anybody who's in talent acquisition who wants to try a new distribution channel to get their jobs out there.
That's great. Katie, this was great. I appreciate it. Think community, if Katie can help you, reach out. That website is getjobstream.com. And if you want to talk about coaching, johndwoskin.com. If you want to get connected to the Launch 3 platform I talked about earlier, it's launch-3.com. Katie, thanks. This was great. Appreciate all your insights, and congrats on your biz.
Thanks so much, John. Congrats on